Make a comparative study of tropical and temperate cyclones. Compare the structure and associated with the condition of tropical cyclones with that of the temperate cyclone. The cyclones are closed air circulation around the low pressure center, having steep barometric gradient and an associated revolving storm accompanied by cyclonic rain. In a cyclone, winds circulate, blowing inwards in anti-clockwise direction in northern hemisphere and in clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. There are mainly of two types based on their latitudinal location: tropical cyclones and temperate cyclones. A comparative study is made under the following heads: origin and development. Tropical cyclones. Tropical cyclones is one of the most destructive of the weather phenomena occurring in tropical latitudes. This is like a heat engine that is energized by the latent heat of condensation. Since there is more heating in tropical areas, more moisture is available for the latent heat of condensation more moisture is available for the latent heat of condensation to lower this more violent weather disturbance. Necessary condition through the exact trigger mechanism is not well understood. Certain conditions must precede the formation of tropical cyclone. Large and continuous supply of warm and moist air. This is why tropical cyclones originate only over oceans, where surface temperature is about 27 degrees centigrade. They originate near the western flank of the oceans, which have higher temperature than eastern part due to the warm current. Large value of Coriolis pores to import whirling motion. Hence, their formation is restricted to 20 degree north and south. Pre-existing weak tropical disturbances caused by small difference in water and air temperature. Some of these may develop into two hurricane vortex under favorable conditions under the upper level outflow between 9 to 15 km height, and anticyclonic circulation is necessary to pump out continuously and ascending air currents within the cyclone so that low pressure at the center is maintained. Upper level outflow, ascending air currents, so wind runs towards low pressure. 5. Small atmospheric vortices in the antecedent. Temperature contrast between converging trade winds from both the hemisphere and enhanced whirling motion favoring instability exists when antecedent or doldrums is farthest from the equator during autumnal equinox, August to October in northern hemisphere, and March-April in the southern hemisphere. Life cycle evolution. Tropical cyclones developed in 4 stages. Formative stage Formative stage mainly slow formation of low pressure area to a tropical disturbance. Premature stage mainly rapid fall in central pressure, wind speed, maximum clouds and rain organized into the spiral bands. J mature stage fall in pressure and increase in wind speed arrested and circulation expand outward. Dissipating stage moisture supplied drastically or curtailed on land. Cyclone weakens and dies rather quickly. Temperate cyclones V. Wagner and J. Wagner developed a polar front theory of the temperate cyclones origin, which is described and depicted in 6 stages below. Stationary stage or initial stage: dry cold air masses from the pole and warm humid air masses from the tropics meet and form a polar front. Air currents on both sides blow parallel to the isobar. So cold air and warm air. So it is front area parallel to the isobar. Juvenile stage. Unstable waves form on the front because of temperature contrast or some other factors. Each air mass encroaches into the domain of other. Cold air mass moves southwards and warm air mass northward. Warm front is pushed and lifted, creating a low pressure area. Cold air and warm air, and cold front, warm front. Early maturing. A definite cyclonic circulation with a well-developed warm and cold front comes into existence. Cold air, warm air, cold front, warm front. Full maturing because of faster movement of cold front and narrow warm sector is created. Cold air, warm front, cold front, cold or occlusion stage. Cold front ultimately overtakes the warm front and occlusion. Amalgamation of warm and cold front starts from the apex downward, raising the warm area aloft. The cyclone reaches its maximum development here. Dying stage, the warm sector disappears and finally the two cold air mass mix across the front, eliminating the occluded front. The source of energy, the temperature and the pressure gradient is cut off and the cyclone dies out. Cold air, warm air, front. Thus, the genesis of source of energy of tropical and temperate cyclones are markedly different. The latter grow in distinct stages, having larger lifespan, 8 to 10 days, than the former 3 to 6 days. Normally, moreover, temperate cyclones are formed more frequently in winter than over summer, while tropical cyclones are formed only during summer. Temperate cyclones develop and dissipate slowly and gradually, while tropical also form and develop slowly, but their depth is more sudden. This is the favorite grounds on tropical and temperate cyclones, and their tracks are vividly depicted in two figures: size and shape. Tropical cyclones have symmetrical elliptical shape. The isobars are generally circular and steep pressure gradient. They cover comparatively smaller area having a diameter of 500 to 600 km. The temperate cyclones are asymmetrical, thus isobars are generally oval or elongated in shape with low pressure gradient having diameter of 300 to 1500 km. Orientation and movement being in trade winds belts. Tropical cyclones usually travel from east to west with wind velocity more than 120 km per hour. Since temperate cyclones move with the westerlies and generally travel from west to east, having wind velocity normally not exceeding 50 km per hour, their surface track has more direct link to the jet stream with the jet stream. Okay. Structure is simplified idea that of the structure of the tropical cycle given in the figure below shows that right at its center there is a warm central core or eye. Surprisingly, calm and cloudiness depicts despite excessive low pressure. This is the warmest part due to descending adiabatic winds. It is surrounded by great vertical wall or cumulonimbus clouds extending up to tropics, having maximum wind velocity and heavy rain. In temperate cyclones, northwestern sector is the cold sector and northeastern sector is the warm sector. Okay, thus all the sectors have different temperatures. Winds and rains are active everywhere. Weather in tropical cyclones, weather changes are faster. Rainfall is heavy and more concentrated over space and time, both accompanied with thunderstorm and lightning. Weather changes are more gradual in temperate cyclones. Rainfall is slow, continuous, with evenly distributed. Other distinctions: tropical cyclones are more destructive than temperate ones for two reasons. Wind velocity is more and predictability is less, partly because they are not so well studied. On the contrary, temperate cyclones are less destructive as velocity is less and predictability is high. So thank you.